story, we're gonna call this man Dino. If you live in Southwest Florida and you've dated him before, I'm not the only girl that he has done this to. I'm sure you can put the pieces together. I matched with him on Hinge. We went on a first date on the beach and we got dinner. It was going well. He had offered to pay for my parking. So I was like, sure, like if you want to. When he went to go open the app, for some reason he couldn't pay for it. He was saying that his card wasn't set up and he got his wallet stolen and all the things. I didn't really think much of it because it was the first date. He had
red flag. Hey, that's one thing I do not be wanting to, cause like when I go to restaurants, I don't like giving the people my card because they gotta walk away with my card. I'm cool with like drive-throughs and stuff like that, but if I go like to Applebee's or something like that, I don't want to give you my card so you can walk away with it. So I like to pay with cash, and then like sometimes I don't have cash, but I don't want to be like, well, I guess it's the same. I can, if I'm on a date, right, I could cash app the girl real quick or Zelle or whatever the fuck and let, if she got some cash, you know what I'm saying? But I don't even want to do that. I just give them my card, you know what I'm saying? Because soon as people get to acting like, oh, they got money issues, they get to looking at you funny. So I don't even be, you know what I'm saying?
Multiple phones on him. He's explaining to me that he has like a work phone and like a regular phone. That's pretty normal, so I didn't really think much of it at the time. The first date goes well. Text me like a couple of days later, I'm gonna take you to St. Pete. I'm not condoning this behavior on my end because I probably shouldn't have gone, but I agreed to it, being that it was a second date, you know, like that's probably not the smartest thing to do. He picks me up from my apartment. He goes to like book the hotel room on his phone, and for some reason he's like, oh, I can't do it because my card isn't linked. Keep in mind, he got new cards after his wallet got stolen, and he just like, I guess didn't have them set up. So I'm like, okay, like no worries, we can always just do it when we get there. We get in the car and we stop by his house that he lives at now. He also told me that he owns like multiple properties in Florida. I'm talking like 7 to 10 properties in Florida, right? That he rents out, that he Airbnbs. He has a property in St. Pete, allegedly, that is being Airbnb'd right now. So we stop at his house because he needed to like grab a few things, and I really had to pee by the time that we got to his house. So he's like, do you need anything? I was like, can I just use your bathroom? And he's like, no, like you're not coming inside. And I was like, why? He's like, well, like my place is really dirty right now. And he's like, no, I'll just like bring you to Wawa. And I was like, okay. We start driving to Wawa so I can go to the bathroom. And then we make our way to St. Pete, which is like a 2-hour drive. We finally get to St. Pete, okay? And we go to the hotel. He drops me off at the front because I was like, I have to pee again. It was a 2-hour drive. So he drops me off at the front and he's like, all right, I'm going to pull around the back because I think something's dangling from my car. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So I run inside to go to the bathroom. He calls me like 5 minutes later. I'm like sitting in the hotel lobby. He calls me and he's like, I'm fixing this. Like, I just have to like, there's something underneath my car that's dangling. Just give me a few minutes. And I was like, okay, like no worries. 30 minutes goes by. 30. 30. Where I'm like, where the fuck is this guy? I called him and I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm booking the hotel room on my phone. I've been sitting here waiting for you. I was hungry. I was annoyed at this point because I'd been sitting for so long. I'm like, why don't you just come inside? And he's like, I'm almost done. Like, I just wanted to do it on my phone first. He finally figures it out. Another like 10 minutes goes by. We check in, we like drop all of our stuff. We go to this bar. He's like leaving and like walking outside and like taking phone calls all night. Finally was like, who are you calling? Like, what's going on? He would like leave me with this random couple that we just met. Nothing wrong with them at all. I was just so confused. And he goes, oh, it's my lawyer. My lawyer keeps calling me. And I'm like, what lawyer is calling you at this hour of the night? That's like a foreshadow. We wake up the next morning and he goes, all right, like, let's get dressed. Like, let's check out. And he goes, I'm taking you to Tampa International Mall. If you don't know Tampa International Mall, it's this massive mall. Has literally every single store in it. So we get to Tampa International Mall. We walk in. And I'm kind of joking with him. I'm like, do I have a budget? Like, haha. And he's like, no, there's no budget. Like, he was being so dead serious. And the first store that he takes me to is Coach. He's picking out all these bags for me. He's picking out wallets, all these things. And proceeds to buy me all these things. Before he buys it, he tries one of his cards in his wallet. It declines. He walks away. He gets on the phone. He calls somebody. And then he comes back and he uses the same card. and it gets approved. I'm really not thinking much of this at the time, but like the more I think about it, like, wow. We go to the next place, we buy more things, and then he takes me to David Yurman. Every single time he had to make a purchase with any of these stores, he would walk away and he would call somebody. And eventually, after so many times of this, I asked him, I'm like, who do you keep calling before you're checking out? And he's like, my lawyer. And I'm like, oh. Another time he said, my bank, because they think that like I'm spending too much money. They're freezing my account. I don't know exactly how all that works. I've never had a bank freeze anything of mine, but I'm also just like, that's just weird. He proceeds to drop like over $3,000 at the mall. Yeah, that was very interesting. And then we end up leaving the mall, really dumbing this story down and making this pretty short, but
okay, my boy tricking off at the mall. Second date, remember? My boy tricking. 3 bands? Okay.
Trying to like get through all the little details. We go to the gas station and the card declines at the gas station. Every single time too, I forgot to mention that he would like put the card in for the chip. He's covering it with his thumb, the name on the card, which I did notice, but I didn't really think much of it once again. I don't know why. Don't ask me why I didn't think anything. So anyways, he calls somebody before he gets gas, and then the card goes through after he makes a phone call. So then we leave. He drops me back off at home. A few days go by. He calls me. He's like, oh, I'm at the Coach store. Meet me here. Like, there's a few things here that I think you'd like. And I was like, okay. So I like finish up at work. I meet him at this Coach store, buying me all these things. Like, we have like all these things in the checkout. And he's stalling so much to check out. We had been in that Coach store for like over an hour. I was like already over it. I mean, I appreciated like what he was doing, but I was like, all right, we've been in here for a minute. We get to check out and he tells the lady at the front, he goes, can you do this in like $500 increments of like payments? So she like starts scanning things, and every time it hits like close to $500, she would like stop it, and then he would go to pay. He tried, I kid you not, 6 different cards that all declined. And again, he's covering all the names. He's like, oh, like I have to get my Amex in the car. So he walks out of the store. I'm standing there awkwardly because I'm like, this is weird, you know? So I walk out of the store because I'm like, I don't know if he's coming back. Like sitting in like the outside area, I see him walking back and he's on the phone again. I don't even follow him in. So he goes in and checks out. And he comes up to me and he's like, all right, like, got it. And I'm like, okay, like, thank you. And then I decide at this point that the behavior was kind of weird. Okay, I finally understood. I start searching up him everywhere. We have like an Are We Dating the Same Guy like Facebook group. I find the most diabolical information about this man. I literally was like sitting there with my jaw to the floor. There were multiple posts about him, 30 comments under each post, how he's scammed these girls, multiple examples of like him basically scamming people that he's like dated. His ex commented on one of them and she has this like massive paragraph of like all this information about him. I told my boss about this. I told my coworker about it too. She has like the background check app or whatever. I'm like, can you look him up? And turns out he has 0 properties owned in anywhere. He had been arrested for fraud and grand theft and like something with like a stolen vehicle. We found a post that some lady made about him. She was like, Dino has stolen over $100,000 worth of jewelry from me. Multiple things that I'm like seeing about him. I find out all of this information, all of these lies, and I haven't even gone through all of the lies that I even found.
My boy is, hey, that's how people be getting caught up now. Those Facebook groups, man, they be like, are we dating the same person and stuff like that. It's a lot of that going on. I'm starting to hear.
Out he had this whole like sob story about his life, and I realized that that was not true about the sob story. Like just by looking him up, like his information, everything about this man is everywhere online. So I find out all this information and I kind of start to ghost him. I don't really want to be involved in this. Like, I don't know. I don't want him stealing my information. Prior to this, he had asked me to like download certain apps so he could send me money. And I'm like, but why? Because one night, like I was like, oh, I'm gonna like eat some, I'm gonna go get dinner. And he's like, oh, I'll DoorDash you something. So I'm like, I send him my Zelle, I send him my Venmo, I send him my PayPal, my Cash App, my Apple Pay. I'm like, you have all of these ways to send me money, but you're still asking me to like download an app. I don't even remember what the app was now. I just feel like that was his way of like trying to hack me. I don't know how this works. I'm not a con artist. I obviously never downloaded the app. I thought it was strange when he asked me to do that. Also asked me one time to Venmo his buddy $100 because his card wasn't set up, so he couldn't Venmo him, and he's like, I'll give you the money in cash. And I was like, no. First of all, I've never met your buddy, and second of all, why? I was like, no. Eventually, he like catches on that I'm not really talking to him anymore, and it probably looked really bad, obviously, because he had just spent thousands of dollars on me, and then I just like started to low-key ghost him. He calls me one day, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna tell him everything that I found out. He's like, what's going on? And I'm like, well, I just found out a lot of stuff about you. He's like, why didn't you come to me about this? Like, why didn't you tell me that you looked me up? Like, I would have told you the truth. And I'm like, honestly, because I just found this out, and I didn't think it was worth it. Like, I found all this out and I don't want anything to do with you, basically. He's like, well, what'd you find? And I'm like telling him all these things that I found, and all these girls being like, he scammed me, he's done this, he's walked out on tabs before, he's been posted on like Facebook groups of like walking out on tabs. And I'm like, I did a background check on you, you've owned no properties. I'm like, you've been arrested for this, this, and this. He has a story for literally every single thing that I told him about. The stories made so much sense. It was like scary. I would say something and he'd be like, well, this is the story behind this, and this is the story behind this. I was like, wow. And like so detailed. I'm like, you have practiced this before. In my head, obviously. I'm not saying this to him out loud. Also, I didn't even mention this, but I'm like almost a decade. I think I'm a decade younger than him. Anyone else like my age, I'm sure he felt like he could like prey on me because I'm young and naive. So he thought. After he like explained all these things to me, I was like, okay, like, sounds good. Never spoke to him again after that. That was like the last time we had talked over the phone, and he tried texting me like a few times. I stopped responding. Oh, and he FaceTimed me. This is like when we were talking about all these things that I had found out. FaceTimed me, and he showed me every single one of his credit cards. Most of them had his name on it, besides like four credit cards that had his lawyer's name on it. And he's like, well, I got injured at work and there was a lawsuit. I got like a settlement from it. It's like through my lawyer, like she's putting money on my card. I don't even know. I was like, that doesn't even make sense. I basically was like, I don't think that's true. That doesn't make any sense. And like the whole thing with the multiple phones, I was like, I just feel like you have like a con artist phone. Like a burner phone, basically. Maybe he has like some sort of connection somewhere. Every time he makes a large purchase, he calls that person and they're like switching over some number. I don't really know. Again, I don't know how that shit works. I don't know how people get away with stealing people's money. You know I'm not going to steal your money because I don't understand how it works, but I just think he got really good at the game when he was arrested previously. Maybe he got caught before and now he is being smart about it at this point. That's basically the story of how I dated a con artist. I have never spoken to him since. He tried to message me like a few times after that, and I just went ghost.
All right. I think that if this was a different girl, she would have been using them just. You want to trick off? All right. Motherfucker would have kept getting Coach bags and all type of bags. You know what I'm saying? But that's what's up. She ended the situation, man. Y'all gotta be careful with those little, what the things called, them groups that's on Facebook. Are we dating the same person? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, my boy was scamming. Shit, you know what I'm saying? My boy tricking off. Like I say, if it would have been another female, shit, she probably would have milked him for everything he had. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to her. She didn't want to be no part of it because I don't know. She probably could have got in trouble. I don't know. The law is funny nowadays, so. Or he could have been snitching on her, or he could have been had said she had something to do with it. He already a con artist, or shit, he could have started stealing from her. He didn't already start stealing for other people, you know what I'm saying? So, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rock with me, man. It's your boy Ray Big Play. Shout out to all my niggas that be tricking, man. Peace.